And of course, we also had a radio news show on every day. We have radio stations, and we just created a radio news show on every day. Of course, we had a website, not only the blog, but just a website with all the photos, additional information, and so on. And we also made an outdoor campaign. So we wanted to show that the whole Poland can follow these guys. So we just said that these guys are going to Europe to find a better job. Follow them on the blog. And it was probably the first Polish blog promoted on billboards in Poland. And we were also trying to do some PR things. So, for example, there is a leading Polish rock band that had a song that I remember from my teenage years. It was called "I Love You Like Ireland." It was about migration, but from the 80s, from the communist Poland. So we asked them to rewrite the song to make it updated, about this migration. And of course, I cannot sing at all, but I can try to rap it for you. Goes something like this. You stayed in a home at the Vistula River. I remember this very well. This closeness of unemployment, but I still love you like Ireland. Yeah? Maybe it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it very quickly became a sort of a hymn. Yeah, the hymn. Yeah, it's probably the same word. It's like a hymn for all the migrants. Yeah, they started to sing it, and this it is very funny because this band was a little bit forgotten, and they very quickly became very popular, and they started to have tours around Ireland and Great Britain, with their updated songs and of course also old ones. We were thinking how to start this campaign in the newspaper after several weeks of these preparations. And we wanted to have some reports, we wanted to have some interviews with people, some stories, real life stories, some opinions, some advice, and so on and so on. And we were looking for, a fresh voice. And we found that probably journalists don't have a fresh voice about this. And we just started to ask people who migrated to explain the complexity of the problem to ourselves. And this is the story written by a Polish doctor who moved to Great Britain. And he's just writing, she's just, because she's a woman, she's just saying that I'm a migrant of a new generation. I'm frustrated with a job for a salary that you can only feel a hunger. And no chances for development. I don't want to get back because I don't see any perspectives for myself in Poland. Poland is on the verge of a collapse. Yeah, this is her view. It's a very strong story, and this is why we decided to put it on the start. And it was like a kickstart, for the whole debate. And this is the only way you can probably start a debate like this. And for the next 2 weeks in the newspaper, on every day, we had reports written by our reporters who try to find a job, stories of real life migrants about what they achieve, their achievements and their problems in achieving things there. For example, this is a story about a cashier from a city of Białystok who wanted very much to earn a lot of money very quickly, and she agreed to go on a vacation to Venezuela. She believed that somebody really wants to give a vacation to Venezuela for free to a cashier in a Białystok, and when she got there, she were forced to get some cocaine to her stomach, and to fly down, and of course she was tracked in Lisbon. And it is a story that she's just waiting for a trial to start, and she has a young daughter. She was a lone mother, so she has a young daughter waiting for her in Białystok. And this is also a story about what kind of threats you can meet when you are thinking about earning money abroad. But real life stories. What is important about it that you don't see any guys in suits here. Yeah? And this is very important for me, because usually when you are looking at newspaper pages, or you are just watching a television, you just see the guys in suits who are just talking to each other. Yeah? It's very important. There are no suits. These are the real people, and they are real achievements, they are real problems. And we also try to do the same with advice. when we were talking with people on our website, for example, we were asking them, for example, what you do if you get sick, what you do when you break your arm and you are in London, what you really do, what are the options? Of course, we're checking it as journalists, but at the same time, we're asking people for real stories and real advice. And we did a series of such advice columns, such advice pages about, for example, what to do if you have young kids and you want to send them to school, what to do if you get sick, what to do if you get, for example, fired and you have a right to get some benefits from the state, how to buy an apartment. And what are the legal conditions to do that in different countries? So it was an extremely helpful for people to get such a real advice in the newspaper. And of course we had real debates, and we are inviting politicians, economists, psychologists, and young people. This is a guy who is a raper. Not raper, a rapper. Sorry. Rapper. So he's a rapper singer, and his songs are very about reality of being young in Poland. So we wanted to invite him to give a completely different perspective from these guys. This one is, for example, one of the most important Polish economists. So we wanted to give somebody completely different, just to see them, fighting with each other on the stage. It was such an idea. And when we are talking about editorial content, I'm just telling you that. Imagine what is the most important content that people who think about migration are looking for. What is the most important content? Is it stories? Other stories from other migrants? Other advice? I can tell you. Job offers. So what we did, we went to Irish Independent, to the Daily Telegraph, and we started to cooperate with each other, and we started to publish their job supplements in our newspaper. So in our newspaper, and every week you could just check the latest, job offers in London, in Dublin, and so on and so on. So this is, I can tell you this. It was probably the most important editorial content that we provided to our readers about this topic. So what was the reward? Of course, it was successful from the circulation point of view and from the readership point of view, and it changed the paper. It was very fresh. But on the other hand, what was important, it really changed the thinking about immigration as a problem in Poland. The government started a program to encourage people to come back if they want. They lowered difficulties to set up a company when you are getting back. Some things about moving your, for example. There was a problem with dual taxation, that when you were earning money in Great Britain, you had to pay taxes twice in Great Britain and in Poland. So they changed the law and so on and so on. So it was important. It had an important impact on the whole public sphere when we are talking about migration. And this campaign also helped us to establish relationship with people outside, and we just launched separate websites for Dublin and for London, and it helped them, for example, to show how the Polish migrants are voting, during the presidential elections. This is the queue in London when they are waiting at the Polish consulate to vote. It is completely strange, and we got all these photos from our readers. So this is how it is helpful. So we can really collaborate with people to produce a better content, I believe, and I have many examples like this. For example, History in a Family. It was a series that we were running once a week in the newspaper. We were asking people to tell their family stories if they were connected to important figures or important events in the Polish history. It was extremely successful. We were getting so many letters that we established a whole website just for these letters, and in the newspaper we had to choose like one of 100